Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Well, today is the last day until November where we don't have real baseball.
Today is the last day until November. I kind of feel like we have baseball today, to be honest. And for a few reasons. Number one, throughout the entire baseball season, Evan and I will be talking to both team skippers, managers. So they'll both come on with us today. Aaron Boone at 4 o'clock and Rojas at 5 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, yes, I finally announced which franchise I'll be rooting for this year. The balloons are here. The reveal is ready.
Now, have you, in your brain,
Yes.
made a selection?
No.
No. You got
I want to
4
hear.
hours.
That's why we're doing it after the managers.
Oh.
Because I want to hear from both managers first before I like to, when I vote, Evan,
Yes.
I like to make a vote that's based in fact and information.
I understand.
So I want to talk to both managers, and that's why we're having them both on today, prior to the reveal of which franchise I'm rooting for.
You're one of those voters who are the undecided.
Yes.
You decide at the last second.
Last second.
And it could be anything that sways you.
We've got two balloons.
I mean, I know. I'm looking at both of them.
I'm assuming one's a Met, one's a Yankee, but I have no idea.
I think so.
I have no idea. Unless it's rigged, which I don't think it is.
No.
The Lindor thing, I just had to start literally 5 minutes ago. Francisco Lindor not saying yes to $325 million. And as the story goes right now, they're not talking. There's no talks planned.
I don't know if I believe that.
I think the way it is this. The Mets made their offer,
Yeah.
and now they're waiting for Lindor to get back to him. And the self-imposed deadline's tomorrow, so he's got till tomorrow. So I wouldn't panic just yet, but to me it's like this. And we've read stories like this before. Joe Blow, the janitor, wins the $400 million Mega Millions, but hasn't come forward yet to collect his prize. Like a lot of times, the people that win the Mega Millions in the lottery, they don't go collect it the next day, which always fascinates me.
They wait a couple of days
Sometimes they wait months.
for a reason.
I don't know.
What's the strategy behind the lottery winner that waits?
I guess sometimes they want to get a lawyer. They want to get like a financial advisor, get their
Gotcha.
they want to tell their family, listen, we don't have any cousins that live in North Dakota.
Right.
So if a guy named Billy Bob calls you, you don't know him. Yeah, everyone comes out with the open hands, right?
Right.
But to me, that's what this is like. Someone just won the Mega Millions, and they're not ready to collect it yet. And I don't get that. That's the part of this. Like, it's $325 million. What are you waiting for?
Who leaked the information? I want to know this because
I would think the Mets did.
So the Mets did.
I mean, I don't know there's a fact that makes sense
if it was
that
the
they
Mets.
did.
I don't know if it was his agent, David Meter. I don't know who's leaked it. But that's part of the problem. See, a part of the problem is if Francisco Lindor signs today, if he says, you know what, guys, you're right. Let me claim my lottery ticket. 10 years, $325. There are going to be a lot of Met fans who are going to resent Francisco Lindor for not getting $325, but for initially rejecting it. The leaks are creating a backlash.
Depends how
against
long it
Lindor.
goes. If if it's announced today that the Mets and Lindor are good and the deal's done, no, there's no lingering
there will be.
resentment.
No,
I don't think.
I think you're wrong. Now, look,
I don't think so. Why would there be? It's been 24 hours.
Because
like we're that sensitive.
Craig,
We
yes.
can't say you give the guy 24 hours.
You're part of the reason why.
Why? I'm Mr. Positive.
No. But you have even said, who is this guy? He's turning down $325, pandemic, guy who's a janitor, a woman who does this job. They can't relate to this. We know that for 24 hours, Francisco Lindor has not agreed to a 10-year, $325 million deal.
Hasn't said no.
Has it? But even if
But
he
hasn't said
yes.
yes.
To me, the leaks that have come out, and I don't know where it's coming from. It could be from Lindor's side. It could be from the Mets
Well,
side.
it makes no sense for Lindor's side to leak the money unless he's going to accept it. It just doesn't. It makes more sense for the Mets. They want their fans to know.
And to make them look bad.
Not to make them look bad.
Of course.
No.
We offered this. He said no.
No, I think it's more to let the fan base know, look, we offered $325.
No, I get it.
Not to make him look bad, but so the fan base knows this time it's not on us.
But it makes him look bad. And so here's what happened to me this morning. I'm watching some MLB commercial in which they're showing all the faces of franchises. So your usual suspects. Mike Trout's in the video. Mookie Betts is in the video. Aaron Judge is in the video. And there is Francisco Lindor. And for the first time...
Why is Lindor there and not DeGrom?
Because
Lindor's never played a single game for the Mets. Who made that decision?
Well, look,
MLB?
Here's the reason for that. Because
Mets?
Lindor is a superstar.
Yeah, but DeGrom's the best pitcher in baseball.
I agree with you, but Jacob DeGrom doesn't get that kind
he has
of
no
attention.
personality.
He's not a big personality. Doesn't have the big smile. And there were no other pitchers in the video. It was all position players.
Who do you think decided that? MLB or the Mets?
MLB.
So Major League Baseball decided that the face of the Mets today is Francisco Lindor?
Wednesday night. Thursday night. Tomorrow night, opening night is on ESPN. It's actually not on SNY, which is a joke. All right, we have to deal with A-Rod, which is another story. And trust me, on Friday, we'll be taking phone calls of people bitching about A-Rod's broadcasting. When they do, it's Juan Soto and the Washington Nationals versus Francisco Lindor and the New York Mets. Now, to me, it's not even the fact that Lindor hasn't played a game for the Mets. It's not even that.
Yeah.
It's the fact that without even trying, I already have resentment against him. Because
Why?
he's not one of ours yet. And he was offered 10 years, $325. And I'm not confident it's going to get done tomorrow night. I don't know if it's going to get done tomorrow night.
But here's the thing. See, we do this a lot of times. There's insecurity and panic setting in. So
yeah, a little bit.
If it gets done like at 2:30 today, you still resent them?
No. I don't. Craig, let me make this clear. No.
You're letting resentment build, assuming it's not going to happen, so that when the first pitch takes place tomorrow night for the New York Mets, you can then say, I resent that guy.
No, I'm not doing it to build up any resentment. I'm being honest with how I truly feel.
Yeah.
Now, if Lindor ends up signing this contract for whatever it is, whether it's 10 years, $325, or the Mets bend,
I don't think it's going to be any more than that, the way it sounds.
We'll see. Whatever he signs for, my resentment's gone. I'm just glad they got it done. He's a Met for the next decade. Let's go. Certainly there's pressure to live up to that contract. We've seen a lot of guys come to this town and struggle in their first year living up to a big contract. I won't hold that resentment against him. But I do know that this morning, when I'm watching that video, I did have resentment. Because I was like, this guy was offered $325 million.
Right.
I don't know if he's going to accept it, and I don't know if he's going to be a Met in 2022. I have no idea.
You almost feel like you're marrying, you kicked your coverage. You're standing there. The band is playing, Here Comes the Bride, and the door hasn't opened yet. And there's that little bit of doubt in your mind. I wonder if she's here.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're going through.
Look, panic isn't
Has
the
that ever happened, by the way? You know anybody who's been stood up at the altar?
Only in movies.
Movies only, right?
Only movies. Never seen that in real life.
Sure, it's happened.
TV shows, movies, all the time. Yeah. The Wedding Singer. That was one of the earlier scenes. That's what really ruined Adam Sandler's character, Robbie. He got showed up. He got basically stood up at his own wedding.
But that's kind of what this is like, right? Like, you think the door is going to open, but it hasn't opened yet. Like, you don't want Lindor right now to be thought of as the face of the franchise for two reasons. One, he hasn't swung the bat yet as a Met. And number two, he's only got a year in his contract.
Right, and if he's turning down $325 at 10 years... Look, it's not panic because I think that the Mets and Steve Cohen has shown they're going to spend money.
Well, there's a lot of panic out there, so maybe it's like a virus.
It's not
maybe
panic.
Maybe it's catching. I don't know.
Well, I don't have it because the worst case scenario is Lindor's one and done here and the Mets spend money elsewhere. But when you make a trade for a guy like this, you want him to be long-term. My number one goal is that he's here for the next 10 years.
Matter of fact, the day they signed him, the second thing every Met fan said after saying, was, I hope we re-sign him.
Well, of course.
Right.
Look, and the difference between this and Piazza, because remember, the Mets traded for Mike Piazza in May of 1998. He was a free agent at the end of the year. They did not sign him until he became a free agent. It was actually in that window after the season ended. The difference was, and it's huge, there was no public negotiation like this. We are all witnessing, and I think it's done a disservice to Lindor and the Mets. I don't think any good comes out of it. We have had a public negotiation. And so if Lindor doesn't sign a deal in the next 24 hours and he steps up to the plate at Nationals Park tomorrow night without a new contract, he is going to be under more scrutiny, in my opinion, than any other athlete that signed here as a free agent, then was traded here and made a lot of money, because he's going to be the guy, not that has to live up to $200 million or $150 million or whatever contract we're talking about in the past. He's the guy, Craig, who said no to 325. That's a very different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
And I think it will turn toxic at Citi Field. I believe that.
Well, I guess the real deadline is signing the deal before you come home, right?
No, the deal is getting it done tomorrow night. You don't want this going into the
I
first
don't
week of
see
the year.
why it can't get done today or tonight.
We'll get it done today.
I just think, my new mantra in life is just to chill. Just to be positive and just to chill.
Just chill.
And it fascinates me the way a lot of Met fans are reacting to this.
Why is that?
Because the deadline's not today. The deadline is tomorrow. Now, I agree. How do you not say yes to 3.25? I'm actually on the Met franchise's side of this
I think
one.
most of us are.
I'm not on the player side of this particular one.
Right.
Because I really don't think, if whatever limited history we have here over the last couple months with Steve Cohen, I don't think they're offering more. Clearly, I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't think they are. So it's like the guy that wins the lottery ticket and waits a month to collect the money. I'm fascinated by a baseball player who actually has the balls to say no, if he does say no, to that kind of money. I'm fascinated by it.
But he's
that being said, the deadline was not today.
I get that.
So I'm going to enjoy today.
Oh, good. Enjoy today.
I'm going to enjoy
everything about
the
today.
day that God hath created. And that's how I'm going to go forward.
You have a very healthy attitude.
Thank you.
I'm not telling
I do
you.
too.
No, you really do. I'm not telling you that I think there's no way a deal's going to get done. Logic tells you a deal is going to get done. I'm just explaining to you, because I always want to be honest with you, how I feel. And I'm being honest, the first time I really felt any resentment towards Francisco Lindor is this morning. I see a commercial. He's the face of the Mets.
It bothered you.
And I said, no, you're not. You're not the face of the Mets.
Yeah.
You haven't played a game here yet, and as of now, you haven't even signed a long-term contract. If you make a long-term commitment to the New York Mets without ever playing a game for this team, look, he'll never be Jacob deGrom to me. To a lot of Met fans, he may not be Pete Alonso. But you go a long way when you say, look, I'm in. No opt-outs, nothing. I'm here for the next decade.
Yeah, I did see that story. I think John Heyman put it out that if you really take a look, I think at Mookie Betts' deal, which was what, 360, 365?
12 years, 365.
That $120 million of Mookie Betts' deal is deferred well beyond the years of the contract.
Right.
Kind of like a Bobby Bonilla type thing. That this particular deal that the Mets offered Lindor, there's no deferred money at all. So over the course of the next 10 years, the deal that the Mets offered Lindor is actually like $100 million richer than the deal that Mookie Betts got over the same time frame.
Dude.
So the Mets, which is why the Mets are saying, we're not giving you anymore.
No, I get
And as
it.
a Met fan, because there's some out there saying, oh, just cut the middle on them. Oh, just give them the 12 years. There's no reason to.
Well, the reason would be to get it done.
Well,
look, you've got two sides digging in right now. That's the way it feels. Someone may blink, someone may not blink. There is a motivation for both sides to get a deal done. Now, you want to argue there should be more motivation for Lindor?
I think there is. Steve Cohen,
be.
He's got the money.
I get he has the money. I get they can sign Corey Seager next year or Javi Baez, whoever you want. I get all that. I know that's the backup plan. It's a fine backup plan to have. But there is a motivation to getting this deal done. So meeting in the middle of saying, all right, we'll find a way to somehow guarantee the 11th year. I'm not going to cry about it. Like, if it comes out today, Mets and Lindor made a deal because they've agreed on money. They've agreed on yearly salary, and they find a way to bridge the gap between 10 years and 12 years. Are you really going to kill Cohen and the Mets and say they gave in?
No.
They're going to say they made a deal.
I mean, listen, I've got no dog in the fight. Neither you really don't either.
Of course I have a dog in the fight. I'm a Met fan who wants it done.
But you don't have a dog in the fight from the standpoint of you don't care what they sign him for as long as he gets signed.
At this
if
point,
it's
you're
10
right.
years, if it's 12, if it's 11. If they announce that they got it done, your opinion should be, I'm glad they got it done.
And here's the difference.
It shouldn't be, I can't believe they went 11. Who cares?
No, I would care in different circumstances. The reason, and I'll be honest about you, I don't care about 10th year, 11th year, 12th year, is I try to look into the future. I can't sit here freaking out about 2032. Really? That's what we're talking about. I can't sit here wondering about, oh, my God, what's their payroll situation going to be in 2031?
I agree.
That's what we're talking about. When you're talking about a pitcher you're giving a 4 or 5 year deal to, it's different. When you're talking about George Springer, 4 or 5 years, it's different. When you are talking 10 years, 11 years, dude, that's so far down the road. I can't sit here going nuts about it.
Well, we'll get into it with you all day long. 4 o'clock, we'll talk to Booney, or as I call him, the Boondog. 5 o'clock, we talk to Rojas. So that'll be a good thing to hear from the manager.
No nickname for Luis Rojas?
I'll come up with one. Has he been on our show yet? I don't think so.
Me and you, no.
No. So I've not yet spoken to the manager of the Mets. So once we speak to him, we'll give him a nickname.
So based on the conversation, something will pop in your brain.
Elroy, maybe? I don't know.
Elroy?
Yeah. Like Luis Rojas, Elro. I don't know.
Does it help? Just try to help you out. His father was Felipe Alou. Does that give you anything or no?
Whose father was Felipe Alou?
Luis Rojas.
Is this his brother?
Yes. Half brother, yes.
When did that happen?
About 38 years ago.
Wait a minute. You're telling me he's an Alou?
That is correct.
I didn't know that.
You see?
I was away when that happened. How do we know that to be factual? Did he go on Maury Povich? Did Maury Povich say, Moises Alou, you are not his father?
I think your first question should be,
or
Luis.
Felipe Alou, you are not his father? I'm going to find out.
Your first question to me, Luis. I hear rumors that your father is Felipe. Can you confirm it?
Did you spin John Hirschbeck's face? Yes or no?
That's Robbie Alomar.
He's not related?
No.
Okay, just making sure. I'm sure we're all on the same page here. I got to keep you on your toes over
You're
there.
making sure he understands his family
history. Can you imagine
history.
if the Alou family was on Maury Povich? Felipe Alou. Look at that little beautiful baby whose name is Luis Rojas. Do you think you're the father? You are the father. That'd be great.
I feel like I blew your mind right now.
I had no idea.
There you go.
Because his name's not Alou.
I understand.
So how would I know that? How would that be something that I would just know?
I don't know. There's certain things.
Should I have known that? Is that a thing like, how do you not know that? I never knew that.
The reason I'll cut you
I couldn't believe they even named the manager after they got rid of Beltran. No one else was available, they said. I read that story when I was away.
See, that's why I cut you slack, because you weren't around.
But they said, I got the papers 3 days after the things happened. They said, Beltran's out. But we need like a manager the next 30 hours. And there's only like one hand was raised in the back. Like, whose hand is that? All right, give him the job. That's how we got the gig, I heard. Is that not true?
Not true at all.
Oh, that's what people said.
But it was a nice story, which I enjoyed.
That's what I heard. We'll give you the latest on Deshaun Watson. It really did get interesting. 21 women now claim he did something inappropriate. 18 masseuses have now come out on the record in documents saying he's nothing but a gentleman. So I added those numbers together.
21 plus 18?
39.
39.
39 individual masseuses.
Yeah, that's the story in itself right there.
Plus, now Busby, the guy representing the 21 women, claiming that he did wrong, he said he was going to give the Houston Police Department a whole bunch of information, right? Now he says he's not because he doesn't trust them. Like, what? You don't trust the police department? In other words, you've got nothing criminal.
Yeah, seems that way.
So I'm not sure if that turns the tide for anybody. And I saw the comments from Casarios saying we don't condone what's gone on here. So they are starting the divorce proceedings from Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah.
Which means my original prediction that he's gonzo by Easter, although I did extend it to the following Friday,
your prediction,
it's starting to look better and better.
Your prediction wasn't him gonzo.
What did I say?
It was him specifically going to Miami.
Oh, yeah.
A team whose every move appears to be like they're setting up Tua to be their guy next year.
I disagree. Go back and look at some of the recent moves.
Okay, I've looked at all their moves.
I'll walk you through it, Evan.
You walk me through it.
I'll hold your hand through the fire.
But here's the bottom line. I'm holding you accountable.
Hold me accountable. I'm going to walk you through the fire.
It's not Deshaun Watson's going to be traded. Okay. It's Deshaun Watson will be traded specifically to the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I've been saying that for weeks.
I agree. That's what I'm just pointing that out. That's your prediction.
I know Carolina's in, the Jets are not, and the Niners are now out.
That's my new prediction.
What's that?
I'm on Carolina now.
You're going Carolina?
Yeah, because I don't think Miami's going to do it. And I'm starting to also believe what you've told me, that the Jets aren't in on him.
The Jets are
all
out.
in on Zach Wilson.
Yes.
So based on that, I think Carolina will end up being the most desperate team to make a move. And they'll do it even with all these allegations against them. I don't think it's going to stop them.
Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If I happen to be right,
What do you want?
I tell you what I want.
An apology?
No, I don't want an apology. Listen, it's just an opinion thing, right?
Right.
On Monday, I have a request.
I'm
All
listening.
right?
I'm listening. I'm
As
open
you
ears.
know, this Sunday is Easter Sunday.
Correct.
For many people, that's a very special day. I have a fancy hat for it as well.
Cool.
There's a little something that Italian bakeries have called pizza rustica.
I knew this was going to come back to food.
I want an entire pizza rustica.
Done.
If I'm right.
You got it.
We have a deal?
Yeah, no problem.
Great.
And you know what?
Big Mac, you know what I'm talking about.
That was a great deal right there.
Prosciutto.
Let's go.
But here's
Yes.
the
Nothing
caveat.
An
better than
Italian
pizza
one so
rustica.
me and Big Mac can
Yep.
enjoy it.
That you got it. Here's
I
the
might
caveat.
even break keto for pizza rustica.
Bang.
That's how good it is.
Here's the caveat, though.
Go.
If he ends up in Carolina or
Okay.
anywhere else,
I get you a rack of ribs.
no. I'm getting the pizza rustico anyway.
Rustica.
Rustica.
And not rustica.
And I am going to eat it in front of you, offering you nothing.
I can live with that.
Okay.
I can live with that.
Done deal.
A mocking pizza rustica.
A mocking pizza rustica.